Noble Team was a specialized fire team of mostly Generation 3 Spartans and one Generation 2 Spartan, reporting to the UNSC Army's Special Warfare Command. Noble was deployed against both insurrectionist and Covenant forces on countless occasions, on assignments that many considered suicide missions. And whilst they finished the mission every time, it did not come without a cost, as evidenced by the fact that only 2 of the original members of Noble Team survived to take part in the group's final deployment on the planet Reach. So today, let's pay honour to these heroes of humanity and look at the 8 or 9 members of Noble Team that we know about. Thom A293 was described as a cowboy-like character who was conscripted into the Spartan Free program following the glassing of his home planet. Initially recruited into Alpha Company, the first ever company of Spartan Free super soldiers, Thom would later be transferred into Noble Team, taking the designation Noble 6. During a battle against Covenant forces on the human colony of Fuminroll, Noble Team would take part in a daring assault on a CCS-class battlecruiser, in which Spartan Catherine B320 was to deliver a nuclear device aboard the cruiser and destroy it. She would be wounded by a Banshee, however, losing her arm in the process. First to her side was Thom, who, realizing that there was no time for backup, flew directly aboard the cruiser with the nuke, and was obliterated alongside the ship following the device's detonation. As previously mentioned, Catherine B320, or Cat, was a Spartan super soldier from the world of New Harmony, who lost her arm in the Battle of Fuminroll, later having it replaced by a prosthetic. Cat was recruited as one of the founding members of Noble Team, taking the designation Noble 2. Regarded as an inspired tactician and an excellent, if albeit too inquisitive hacker, regularly digging a little too deep into classified information, Cat's skills helped her become second in command of Noble Team. They didn't, however, help her survive a needle to the head fired by a Sangheili field marshal during the siege of New Alexandria on Reach. Most affected by Cat's demise was the leader and only other original member of Noble Team, Carter A259. Carter, or Noble 1, was conscripted into the Spartan Free program following the glassing of his homeworld, Biko. His natural leadership skills elevated Carter to the rank of commander and allowed him, in most cases, the freedom to make his own selections for Spartans to join Noble Team. Extremely loyal to his teammates, Carter would later sacrifice himself to save 2 of his team, ramming his Pelican into a Scarab Walker blocking their path. Emile A239, or Noble 4, was a remarkably skilled close-quarters specialist, showing extreme ruthlessness in battle and prone to overkill. Emile often hoped to break the enemy's will through the use of unnecessary force. Every Covenant soldier killed was another etch on Emile's visor, and a chance for the Spartan to add to his impressive, yet illegal collection of Covenant contraband. Outside of combat, Emile was cold and callous, often leading to confrontations with those on his team, and trouble interacting with non-Spartans. Nevertheless, Emile went out a hero, defending Noble 6 and the Pillar of Autumn, being stabbed through the back by an energy sword-wielding elite zealot in the process, due to insurrectionists killing his parents on his homeworld of Eridanus II. Emile could not be trusted with missions involving insurrectionist threats, believing his brutal, over-the-top techniques being used against human insurrectionists would not be received well in the media. Colonel Urban Holland, commanding officer of Noble Team, intended to replace Emile on any counterinsurgent missions with Spartan Rosenda A344. Regarded as a sassy Spartan, Rosenda was a Spartan-free super soldier and member of Alpha Company. We don't know much more about her, but concept art shows the Spartan wielding a light machine gun and wearing a bandolier of bullets. Hailing from Reach, Jorge 052, or Noble 5, was the only Spartan 2 super soldier on Noble Team. Abducted by Dr. Catherine Halsey and inducted into the Spartan 2 program at the age of 6, being one of the few Spartans to survive the physical augmentations conducted on Spartan 2s. A seasoned soldier and heavy weapons expert, with decades of fighting Covenant and insurrectionist forces in equal measure, Jorge was known to be vocal in his support for self-rule for humanity's colonies, whilst also strongly condemning separatist movements. And for a Spartan, he also showed remarkable compassion towards civilians. This, combined with his knowledge of his homeworld of Reach and ability to speak Hungarian, made George a valuable asset during Noble Team's last mission on Reach, allowing him to converse with the planet's population, many of which were of Hungarian descent. Secretly harbouring a desire to fall in battle, it should come as no surprise that George sacrificed himself defending his homeworld, when he detonated a slipspace device manually aboard the Covenant supercarrier Long Night of Solace, destroying it in the process. Hailing from New Harmony, Jun A266, or Noble 3, was the calm, pragmatic and vigilant marksman of Noble Team, leading a covert headhunter team for the Office of Naval Intelligence before joining Noble Team. The skills gained as a headhunter made Jun the perfect candidate to conduct solo, discreet, reconnaissance and assassination missions for Noble Team. Jun was also the only member of Noble Team to survive the Covenant's assault on Reach, being ordered to split off from his teammates to protect Dr. Halsey. Following the end of the Covenant War, Jun retired from active service and joined the Spartan 4 program, becoming its head recruiter. As of 2558, Jun is now the Chief of Staff of Spartan Branch, cultivating the next generation of Spartans. Noble 6, or Spartan B312, was a Spartan 3 super soldier from the colony of Jericho 7, replacing the recently KIA Thom A293. After surviving their home planet's glassing, 6 entered the Spartan 3 Beta Company. Much of 6's history after this is highly classified, however, due to them being deployed as a Black Ops officer and assassin for the Office of Naval Intelligence, gaining a reputation as a lone wolf assassin that single-handedly broke terrorist organizations and dismantled whole rebel groups. 6 also served as a test pilot for the Sabre program, resulting in the FSS Sabre spacefighter, which they then used to defend the colony of Mamor from an insurgency uprising. Dr. Halsey stated that Noble 6 held a hyper-lethal rating, a rating shared with only one other Spartan, the Master Chief. This hyper-lethality can be seen in Noble 6's last stand, in which after downing a CSS-class battlecruiser and protecting the UNSC Pillar of Autumn, Noble 6, now perhaps the last UNSC troop on the planet, took on an overwhelming force of grunts and high-ranking elites, who eventually defeated 6, sustaining significant losses in the process. Due to the classified nature of 6 and their career history, they were omitted from the various statues built to honour the members of Noble Team, left forgotten to history. As a little bonus member for you, there was a non-canon Noble 7 member of Noble Team, only ever appearing as an action figure created by McFarlane Toys and Bungie, and it features the Bungie coat of arms emblem in place of the UNSC logo. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more content, we've got plenty of other videos on the channel, including a deep dive into all forms of the Flood. And if you have ideas or topics you want covered on this channel, make sure to join our Discord, where you can send me your ideas, have a chat about all things lore, or maybe even have a game or two. Subscribe for more. Catch you next time.